My brothers and sisters, I found this article from Newspaper Week about what John Schneider said about Beyoncé. John Schneider hits back at Beyoncé fans for blasting him as racist as he clarifies comments calling her a urinating dog. That's an expression I've used my whole life. John Schneider has hit back at Beyoncé fans who branded him racist and hateful over his comparison between the singer and a urinating dog. The 63-year-old Dukes of Hazzard star, who caused outrage when he said President Joe Biden should be publicly hung in December, was lambasted by fans after he slated Beyoncé's foray into country music with new single Texas Hold'em. During a discussion on conservative network One American News, he was asked about his thoughts on leftist musicians, like the 42-year-old singer, who venture into different genres. The segment was about fans pressuring an Oklahoma radio station to play the Renaissance music artist's new country music. He replied, "They've got to make their mark, just like a dog in a dog walk park. You know, every dog has to mark every tree, right? So that's what's going on here." Speaking exclusively to DailyMail.com, the star, who released country music in the 1980s, said being labeled a racist was absurd and just ridiculous, as a dog marking a tree was an expression I've used my whole life. John Schneider has hit back at Beyoncé fans who branded him racist and hateful over his comparison between the singer and a urinating dog. The 63-year-old Dukes of Hazzard star, who caused outrage when he said President Joe Biden should be publicly hung in December, was lambasted by fans after he slated Beyoncé's foray into country music with new single Texas Hold'em. He said, "I've used that expression about myself whenever I endeavor to go out and push the envelope. I'm from New York. I've got a saying. I have said every dog needs to be on a tree my whole life, which means everyone has a right to their opinion. Everyone has a right to try, do, and say anything because of freedom of speech. Everyone has a right to try or do anything that they wish, so it was never intended to compare her to a dog. And if you listen to it or if you see it, you'll see the first thing I said about Beyoncé was that I think Beyoncé is the greatest female vocalist since Whitney Houston. I do know a little something about country music because I've done it for so long. God bless her for having a #1 song. So now even if I had said something derogatory, which I did not, I have the right to." He claimed Beyoncé's fans had used him to put a spotlight on the singer's new music, saying, "They found something that they could take out of context, and they ran with it. I think they ran with it. They looked at it as free press for a new album. I was just used as an unknowing, I won't say unwitting, but unknowing tool to promote some new music." The 63-year-old Dukes of Hazzard star made the graphic a fake analogy during an interview with conservative network One American News. Beyoncé was compared to a dog marking its territory by actor and singer John Schneider. The Smallville actor added that he will not try to silence his haters, saying, "I welcome all free speech. I believe in standing up for what you believe is right, even if I disagree with you." The country music singer also revealed hopes to collaborate with Beyoncé, saying, "Maybe one day there'll be a Beyoncé, John Schneider duet, who knows? I know a little bit about country music. I mean, I've had 4 #1s." Social media users and fans of Beyoncé had taken to both Instagram and X, formerly known as Twitter, to offer their reactions over John's comment. "Don't open your mouth to speak on her again," one wrote, while another added, "You know you canceled, right? DN. Did you really compare Beyoncé to a dog marking her territory? That's crazy BC. If it wasn't for black PPL, there would be no country music. If it wasn't for a black man, you would remain irrelevant, humble much," a fan wrote. One penned, "Talking about the queen gone cast ya," while another typed, "You got some nerve to use a dog as a metaphor for Beyoncé. You should be ashamed of yourself. But I know your white privilege won't allow you to be, so we the Bayhive will terrorize you and your family for all the last days of your boring white life until we see an apology. Also stream Texas Hold'em and 16 Carriages Act 2 out 3.9. The country music singer also revealed hopes to collaborate with Beyoncé, saying, "Maybe one day there'll be a Beyoncé, John Schneider duet, who knows? I know a little bit about country music. I mean, I've had 4 #1s." He said, I have said every dog needs to be on a tree my whole life, which means everyone has a right to their opinion. Everyone has a right to try, do, and say anything because of freedom of speech. Beyoncé can sing, dance, create, direct, and do whatever else her heart desires. For John Schneider to lay in bed with black women on a show produced by a black man and then turn around and call Beyoncé a dog, it's time for the hive to start buzzing. A fan pinned on X, he does realize she is actually from Texas with AT, right? -1, another pinned, while one added, and John Schneider isn't even from Texas, but Beyoncé is. He's lame just like his songs and his acting. #Beyoncé's country. One social media user typed, comparing a Beyoncé to a dog is racist and hateful. As a country fan, I welcome her and let's see what she has. John Schneider is another low-life white supremacist. #Beyoncé. John Schneider compares Beyoncé's new country music to a dog urinating. Leftists are trying to take over everything. I think he's talking about his own failed attempt at a music career, another pinned. Schneider also stood strong on backlash he has received online from the launch of his new single and music video, She's Worth It. The actor, filmmaker, and musician released the new patriotic anthem to celebrate the greatest country in the history of the world. However, he was taken aback to receive negative comments about the narrative of She's Worth It. He said, the reaction from everyone over 20 has been absolutely wonderful, which, I'm not surprised by that. But there's been some people who are younger, the people who've been indoctrinated into the whole America is bad line of thinking that aren't fond of it. That really breaks my heart because that is the future of not only our country, but the young people are the future of your country. The young people are the future of the world. And if we're not patriotic, in fact, if we are kind of vitriolic about our country, no matter what your country is, then that, to me, spells doom. Social media users and fans of Beyoncé later took to both Instagram and X, formerly known as Twitter, to offer their reactions over John's comment. That kind of shows that this song is more necessary now than ever. The United States of America has done as well, if not better than any other country in recognizing them and repairing problems. I had a Facebook post where I said we live in the greatest country the world has ever known, and I had hate mail on my Facebook about that. It's a globalist mentality that has gone wrong and actually gone wrong for us, but gone right for them. That is their plan. And I'm an odd bird because I would fight for their right even to try. We just have to give them a worthy opponent. And I think patriotism is a worthy opponent, but we have got to gather people up so that they don't sit on the sidelines and think this is somebody else's problem. Schneider is now launching his own moonshine brand, John Schneider's Revenuers Reserve Premium Moonshine, in original and blackberry and apple pie flavors. He said, I always like to have a drink. So it was about time I had my own moonshine. A lot of advertisers have managed to fool the audience into believing that the only good grain alcohol is one that is vile to the taste. And that's just not true. You're supposed to be able to have kind of a taste sensation in there like a party. If you like this video, please subscribe to my YouTube channel and other social media platforms too, my brothers and sisters.